PacWest Magazine is brought to you in part by Hawaii Tourism Authority. Discover the beauty of the islands at GoHawaii.com. We go to Chaminade for the women's volleyball alumni match that featured Silversword head coach Kahala Kabalis playing against her own team, and even a mother lining up across the net from her own daughter. We head back to the spring to relive the PacWest Men's Tennis Championships between HPU and Fresno Pacific, and we tell the remarkable story of an untraditional volleyballer lighting it up at UH-Hilo. Welcome to the special edition of PacWest Magazine, right here on OC16. We're on the campus of Chaminade University, and behind me is the women's volleyball alumni match. And these alumni, they're a great bunch. They feature the current head coach of the Chaminade Silverswords, that's Kahala Kabalis, and even features a mother of one of the current players. So let's go up close and personal and meet these athletes and also check in some of the action. It's not so often you see a college women's volleyball team not only missing its head coach for a game, but instead having her suit up in uniform for the other team. But that was very much the case on this warm fall evening at Chaminade, and that was just the way Coach Kahala Kabalis wanted it. On this night on St. Louis Heights, the second-year head coach handed over the reins of the current squad to assistant Devin Bukowski, while she traded her coach's polo for her old jersey to renew a tradition that had been missing from McCabe Gym for several years now, the annual alumni match.
Well, it was something that we did when I was a student athlete here, and when I started coaching here, and actually after I left, I was never asked to play an alumni, and I was like, hey, why not? But then I realized they actually haven't been having any alumni games, so I wanted to bring it back, and I'm really glad that it was a successful first annual, even though we've had in the past. We're going to start anew, so first annual, and hopefully keep this tradition going.
I kind of wish that they did it in the past, because it would have been nice, like as a freshman, to be able to see all the alumni back then, and then it probably would have gave me more motivation, because playing them tonight, it kind of gives me like more motivation to do better, to kind of like get to where they are. Like Coach Kahala, like she said, they made it to regionals. Like that's my goal this year, is to take Chaminade on the rise.
It's been a while. I think the last time I played was right after I graduated, and I haven't been back since. So I think it's a great thing for the school, the support of the community, and all the prior students to come back and enjoy playing and watching everybody.
Good. I think we should keep doing it, bring back more people, and it'll be exciting for years to come.
Man, I think the last time that, to what I remember, Chaminade having an alumni game, I was a player playing against the alumni. So now it like switched to where I'm an alumni playing against Chaminade. So it's like totally different. Makes me feel old, but I still got it.
Back in 2004, Kabalis swung the Silverswords to their first top 25 appearance and a trip to the NCAA regional semifinals. Tonight with her alumni teammates, she gave the team she now coaches their final test before they head into the difficult 2013 PacWest slate, which features nationally ranked teams Fresno Pacific and BYU Hawaii, 2012 Final Four participant, and currently listed in the country's top 5.
Well, I had a brief practice with them before this game, and they all served me, they all try to block me, they're all gunning for me, so I told them before the game, I said, please, can you just make like I look like I know how to play just a little bit, don't pick on me. So I strategized the serve receive, so I wasn't in it. I'm just fooling around, but they're just trying to be competitive against me. It was fun.
The alumni, behind a larger than expected crowd of several hundred, loudly in their favor, proved worthy of the challenge and gave the varsity squad all they could handle. But this Chaminade team used the same resilience that gave them a winning record coming into this match to put away their forebears in straight sets, 25-23, 25-22, and 25-14, in a match where everyone could walk away happy.
I wish I had a new body, or the body 10 years ago, but I did what I can. It was really tough being the coach on the opposite side, because you're watching the mistakes they're making, you're like, "Arr!" But you have to just take the player role, so it was fun.
But I mean, tonight must have been hard for you too, because you want to see them do well, but you also want to win. So how was that feeling of being conflicted?
Exactly what you just said, conflicted. So it's like, yeah, we just scored a point, but why didn't she make that adjustment? And okay, I got to note that down. We need to work on that in practice.
Leading the way for the alums with 8 kills each, for Kabalis, and another former All-PacWest selection, Trina Kauliakamora.
Felt good because this is the exact same one that I wore my year, so it was good. Guarantee I grabbed it and made sure that I wore this one. But it feels good though. It feels good to be back in this gym.
In Hawaii, where family is second to none, this match truly epitomized the spirit of Ohana. Not only did a pair of sisters line up across the net in Crystal and Chelsey Powell, but so did a mother and a daughter. Freshman Kaya Chong probably never imagined she'd have the chance to go up against her own mom, but Terri Bertulfo, who donned the blue and white from 89 to 92, wasn't going to pass up this great opportunity.
A little. I wanted to prove to her, although I'm old, I can still play with the young ones, but maybe tonight, I don't know.
Very satisfying that we won. Me and her are very competitive, so when we play against each other, there's a lot of talk doing that.
It's looking at myself 20 years ago, but I think she's come a long way, and I think she'll be greater than what I could have been.
I mean, once you get kills on us, like, I kind of feel happy. Like, oh yeah, that's my mom, but at the same time, it's like, come on guys, pick it up, that's my mom.
It's a good school, great people. I like having the smaller environment for her. It's not like going in a school with thousands and thousands of people, and being at home. I'm close by.
Is really important, and like, I'm very happy to play in front of them and have like support there instead of like being in the mainland and I can only get like a phone call, but like having them like physically there really means a lot.
It felt very exciting in the beginning, just to know that she was on the other side and other people as well. And it just brought back memories when I used to be in the stands watching her and that excitement.
I enjoy it. I mean, I put on any uniform and I want to play. I'm here to play, so I enjoyed it.
Are you competitive tonight, you think?
Yes. Every game that I step into is competitive.
And is it like that? Has it been like this way growing up with your sister?
Yes, always.
But then it's always that love after, so.
My advice to her would be to give it her all because it's her last year. I mean, I remember my years, I didn't get to play much, but when I got it, I made a difference. So I hope she can do that too.
And talk about just having your family here as well. I know Grandma was here, and she's super proud of you, of both of you. She's cheering for both teams. And what is that like to be at home and play in front of family?
To be home and playing in front of family, it's an honor. It shows them that we have pride for what we're doing out here and showing what we can do. It's exciting. It's good to play in front of family, always.
Like a tightly knit family, volleyball is a way of life in the islands. And on this night at Chaminade, it was a chord that brought together some bound by blood, some by tradition, and some even by both. The Chaminade Volleyball Ohana, making us proud to call ourselves the PacWest.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community. I chose Division II because I can double major.
And take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose
Division II.
Now, that tells us what this school is being built for which it's being built. And from this school, I'll tell you,
from this school
will go men and women.
Will go men and women.
Whose influence will be felt.
Whose influence will be felt.
For good.
For good towards the establishment.
Towards the establishment.
Of Peace International.
Of peace.
Of peace. Of peace.
Of Peace International.
12 points. 12 points. Apply what we do in practice. That half is over. It's done. And in this half, we have to outplay them. plain and simple. I know what all of you are capable of. I believe in each and every one of you. Now let's go out there and make this our masterpiece.
You're watching PacWest Magazine right here on OC16. We're at McCabe Gym for the Chaminade women's volleyball match right here on Oahu. Hey, when you're in the PacWest, whether you get to play or you get to work, you get to see some of the most beautiful places in all of America, whether it be right here in the islands or in the Bay Area, Northern California, or on the sandy slopes of Southern California, or even in the rocky deserts of St. George, Utah. And if you're the commissioner like Bob Hogue, you get to see all these places all the time. So let's go check in on the commish right now.
The University of Hawaii at Hilo has a proud women's volleyball tradition. The school has won national championships and PacWest championships, and the Vulcans have a strong and enthusiastic following. This year, the Vulcans welcomed a new addition to their volleyball family, a junior defensive specialist who had been away from the game for a number of years. Meet Kahea Rodrigues, a Roosevelt grad from back in 2002 who is back on the court after a 10-year layoff.
How old are you now, and what's it like being so much older than the other girls?
You're never supposed to ask a lady how old she is. But I'm 29. I'll be 30 in January of next year. I'm like maybe 7 to 8 years older than everyone, so it's a challenge, but I like it. I like challenges, but you can't tell me that older.
University of Hawaii at Hilo Athletic Director Dexter Irvin thinks Kahea's story is inspirational and proof of what is possible in NCAA Division II athletics.
It is, and that's one of the exciting concepts about NCAA Division II. I think a lot of people may not recognize or even realize that it provides opportunities for young people, wherever that young age is to be able to come back, finish your education, and participate in athletics. So you got to take your hat off to her, and I'm proud of the institution that we didn't close the door on her and provided an opportunity for her to be successful in volleyball.
Kahea's family is very supportive of her, as she was of them when she went to the Big Island several years ago to take care of her ailing great-grandmother for 4 years as her primary caregiver. It's the kind of person she is, says her mom, Hokulani, the athletic director at Molokai High School. Kahea hopes this second chance at being a student athlete will be a meaningful experience and the culmination of many years of sacrifice and hard work.
Was it kind of like chicken skin?
Yeah, actually it was. It was a good feeling to come back on the court. It's the love of the game that I have.
Anytime you have a group, especially we have a group of young people that are a lot of freshmen, Tino's put together a nice group of athletes, but they're young. And so when you can take that maturity that she shows and bring it into the program, I think it helps a lot stabilize the emotional environment, if nothing else.
Took some time off for myself to recollect myself. Came back this year. I gave myself an ultimatum. If I couldn't find a job, that I was going to go back to school. So I went back to school, and then one of my uncles is a counselor there, so he brought up the idea, why don't you go play? I was like, what do you mean, I still can play even though I'm this old? And he's like, yeah, why not? I'll help you out. So he helped me out, got my classes ready. Then I talked to Coach Tino, asked if I could try out, and he's like, sure, come on out.
So what's it like coming back after sitting out for a while?
Nothing much. Just getting used to being coached. Because I've coached myself, so being coached is different. It's a learning process at the same time. It's good. I guess if you just have that passion for the game, it never leaves you. You know.
It looks like you got a lot of support here. What do you want to say about all the people that support you?
I love them. They're awesome.
Kaheya Rodrigues, one of the great success stories around the PacWest.
Founded in 1868, Holy Names University has grown from humble beginnings on the shores of Lake Merritt to a thriving comprehensive university in the Oakland Hills overlooking San Francisco Bay. Holy Names is committed to the full development of each student, empowering a diverse student body for leadership and service in a global society.
What we do at Holy Names University is to bring together athletics and academics so we can produce scholar athletes in a perfect setting. We prepare student athletes and all our students to be global leaders in a very diverse society. And that's why we think there's a perfect match between Holy Names University and the NCAA. Go Hawks!
At CBU, campus life is unparalleled, featuring world-class athletics, fantastic food, lasting friendships, and life-changing ministries. CBU is not just an education, it's an experience. Why don't you join us at CBU? Live your purpose.
It doesn't look like your average university, because it isn't. Just 12 miles from San Francisco is an urban oasis where students go beyond the classroom, helping businesses become sustainable, fighting breast cancer, athletes who excel and serve the community. And here, you don't just study history, you help make it.
Welcome back to PacWest Magazine right here on OC16. We're at McCabe Gym at Chaminade University. And hey, we love to showcase some of our awesome talent right here in our comp beds. So let's go check out the spotlight on one of them right now.
It's been a year of firsts for the PacWest, a time that has seen the conference's unprecedented growth with new schools throughout California and new tournaments to show off our tremendous talent. With the recent success of our men's and women's basketball tournament in Azusa and women's golf tournament in El Cerrito, the first ever PacWest men's tennis championships in Waipi'o would surely provide much of the same drama we've been seeing all year. Although many of our schools have fielded elite men's tennis teams for several years now, this is the first year that the PacWest has sponsored the sport, bringing together multiple nationally ranked teams and even more regionally respected programs, including the number 5 team in the nation, HPU, who entered the tournament with the number 1 seed. The Sea Warriors took a bye in the first round of the 7-team tournament and blanked the nation's number 13 ranked team, Grand Canyon, 5-0 in the semis, to head to the championship game. Hawaii Pacific's opponent would be either second-seeded Azusa Pacific or third-seeded Fresno Pacific, who met in the other semifinal. It took over 5 hours, but the Sunbirds of FPU, the country's 12th-ranked team, took down Division II's 11th-ranked Cougars to charge their way into the final against the host school, setting up a rematch between the two teams. Last month, in the desert, the Sea Warriors got the best of the Sunbirds with a decisive 9-0 win at the Las Vegas Spring Tournament. And on Saturday morning, it looked like the same could happen, as the exhausted squad from Fresno got jumped on right from the start, where at number 3 doubles, the HPU freshman phenoms, Jaime Martinez-Vich and Max Ertl, made quick work of Marco Gabriel and Stefan Lu, taking the match 8-3 and putting the Sea Warriors up 1-0. But that's when Fresno Pacific would dig deep. And that was not more evident than at number 1 doubles. HPU's number 10 nationally ranked doubles tandem of Peter Michnev and Gerald Moretti got an unexpected battle from FPU's junior Kyle Rowe and senior Kirill Sinitsyn, whose fiery celebrations kept emotions running high, and more importantly, kept the Sea Warriors on their toes. HPU would go up by as much as 7-5, serving for the match. But Rowe and Sinitsyn refused to lie down, rallying to tie the game at 7-7 and refusing HPU's dynamic duo any more games, upsetting HPU 9-7 to tie the championship at 1-1. And the number 2 doubles, Michael Timke, the Aussie, and Emerick Sanchez, the Spaniard, took an 8-5 decision over HPU's Jan Renaud and Clemens Grauta to take a surprising 2-1 lead after doubles. Up by 1, the Sunbirds had all the momentum going into singles. But HPU would quickly reclaim the lead, with wins at number 2 and number 6, when Maxime Halfont took down Loop in straight sets 6-1, 6-3, and the quick-footed Martinez Vich quickly dispatched a fellow countryman Sanchez 6-3, 6-love. Minutes later, HPU's Renaud would win his match against FPU's Gabriel 6-2, 6-3, and all of a sudden, the Sea Warriors went from down a match to needing only one more to claim the championship plaque. Fresno Pacific's Rowe made sure his match wouldn't seal his team's fate, winning at number 5 singles against Adriano Locrotondo 6-4, 6-3, leaving the drama for the remaining 2 matches at number 3 and number 1 singles. While the battle raged on between Ertl and Timke on the third court, with both players winning a set apiece, all eyes were fixed on first singles, where the nation's number 2 ranked player, Peter Michnev, had a real battle on his hands with Kirill Shinitsin, himself ranked number 15 nationally. The match would get testy at times, with the emotional Shinitsin leaving everything he had out there on the court, defying all expectations in the Hawaiian heat, with a crowd loudly in his opponent's favor. But Shinitsin never stopped believing in himself. After dropping a close first set 6-4, he fist-pumped his way to a 6-2 win in set 2, which set up a real battle that could decide the championship. There was Michnev, relying on his heavy forehand, and Shinitsin slugging away with nothing to lose. Michnev would eventually go up 5-2 and serve for the match. When Shinitsin's shot went long, that was it. Michnev wins at number 1 singles, giving HPU the necessary points to claim the first ever PacWest Men's Tennis Championship. Setting off a celebration with his teammates, and in the process, Michnev would win himself a personal accolade, named Tournament MVP.
Men's Tennis Championship, Hawaii Pacific University. Congratulations, gentlemen.
For head coach and former HPU player Henrik Bodie, who would have to suffer, if you can call it that, the traditional celebratory water cooler dumping, that cold feeling down his back was definitely worth it.
Feels really good. I know, as being the host of the tournament, being number 1 seed, there was a bit of expectations coming into the tournament, but it's never easy. All the teams we have here now that are in the conference are extremely strong, so we're extremely happy that we came through. They've worked extremely hard, and it would have really sucked to see them not get the credit, not get the recognition for their hard work. It would have been extremely disappointing for myself and them, but you know, they did a great job today.
This match was, from the beginning, it was very hard. We knew that it's gonna be hard. Fresno Pacific is a great team. We played them already early this season, but they improved a lot, and we had a really tough match. We didn't start too good. We were down 2-1 after doubles, and then we won 4 singles. It was not easy at all. So I'm happy we managed to win.
We had match points in doubles. It just wasn't exactly our day today in doubles. And I told them after we were down 2-1, listen guys, we just gotta fight for every single point. We've played the team before, we've beaten them before. So they were confident that they were gonna win, but we knew it wasn't gonna be easy. And there's a lot of matches that were a lot more intense than they were last time, just because it's a conference environment, and you know, with Peter winning the final match, I think it was fitting to close it out.
As the number 1 seed in the West region and headed to the NCAA Championships in Surprise, Arizona, Hawaii Pacific is looking forward to hoisting another trophy.
I think we can do it. Today we proved that we have a heart, that we are able to fight, and so that we will need it. We'll need it at Nationals. We'll need it in Phoenix, especially in this heat and everything.
Going into the season, I told them we want to win a national championships. That's what we built the program on, and that's the goals we have for our players. and that was the goal going into the season. Now we've played a lot of top schools. It was all competitive. We didn't really get what we wanted out of it, but we're right there. And I think, you know, with the good win today, going forward, and them keeping to work as hard as they have been, I think we have a good shot.
Let the celebration continue. The Sea Warriors are the first ever PacWest men's tennis champions.
Daily, faculty, staff, board, and administrators pray for your release into this remarkable culture and the cultures of our world and the difference you will make. Tonight, that's really what we're celebrating. Let me welcome you to this, the 113th year of commencement at Azusa Pacific University.
I believe in today's society, you really got to keep up with the curve.
No one else is slowing down, and the competition doesn't give in.
Trust me, decisions don't make themselves.
Decisions don't make themselves. Decisions don't make themselves.
Confidence comes from mentors, people of faith who believe in your strength and wisdom. Point Loma Nazarene University Graduate Studies. Confidence for a complex world.
Hey, that's it for today's episode of PacWest Magazine, but if you want to check us out some more, why don't you hit us up on the web? We're at thepacwest.com. That's thepacwest.com. That's where you can find all the latest news, video, and even more information about the Pacific West Conference. For the Commissioner Bob Hogue and the man behind the camera, Barry Markowitz, I'm Wayne Coito saying, see you next time on PacWest Magazine. PacWest Magazine is brought to you in part by Hawaii Tourism Authority. Discover the beauty of the islands at GoHawaii.com.